There isn't one single key to a happy life. Our happiness comes from many things, like connecting with others, how we treat ourselves, and how we relate to the natural world around us. And there are practices that have been shown in the lab to help us get better at these things. I'm Dacher Keltner, psychologist at UC Berkeley. Join me on the Science of Happiness podcast as we explore these practices. In each episode, guests from all walks of life give a practice a try. And then we hear from experts about why they work. Find the Science of Happiness wherever you get your podcasts.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for the podcaster that's here to keep you company, that's here to take your mind off of stuff, that wishes he had something witty and silly to say. That could, I wish I had something to say that would instantly put you to sleep and relieve all that tension. But I can only do it my way, which is slow, meandering, and a little bit goofy. The reason I do the show? For you, because I know how it feels in the deep, dark night. And if I can help, if I can keep you company, it'd be my honor. So whether you're new or you're coming back, you're a regular listener, you come back, you just use the show when you need it. I'm glad you're here. And I really hope I can help you fall asleep. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do this for you for free twice a week. You can always check those out when your hand hits that fridge or that coffee pot at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Hey, everybody, I want to let you know about a podcast I love and a podcaster I love. If you want to learn about fascinating moments in history in the most relaxing way possible, then you got to check out Calm History. Each episode is narrated in a calm voice to help you relax or fall asleep. You'll learn about famous explorers, leaders, inventions, civilizations, and ancient wonders. And there's even a 6-part series about the Titanic. So just check your podcast player for Calm History, CALM History, or use the link in our show notes and check it out. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, Scoots here. I guess we'll go through my notes first and then go through the episode for the children. Season 1, episode 4. Whosoever boos, locker room. Oh, I think it's like a screen. It's a black screen, and then there's booing going on. Roy's mad. Better than that. Sam apologizes. Jamie's a jerk. Roy does some finger pointing, forehead to forehead. Easy. No. For the love of Pistol Pete, Ted says, second half, old man. Could we old one near time? Call me old man one more time, I think. He calls him grandpa or something. Then we get the open table for the boring table. I guess I know what table I'll be at. Higgins will be there too. Ted has a horse kicking joke, throwing something, West Side Story. Nate Layer. I don't know. Nate Layer, that's what Nate's his +1. Maybe, Nate loves West Side Story, so we got to look there. This is a dialogue circle to check. Either chicken or steak, Beard. Ted's +1 is Beard, but Beard has a date, so Nate's free every night. Ted goes into Rebecca's office. She's checking out dresses, Pajama Friday. Me, Roy, Davis forces to mind, mend fences, fences to mend. Jamie, me, Roy, and Jamie at the same table. Fashion, one more story try. So Ted's trying to tell the story about his prom and wearing pajamas to his prom, I think. I'm fine, really fine. Robbie Williams canceled. Higgins, find someone better. There's a good physical comedy with Higgins' phone. Jamie's house, or apartment or whatever. It's gorgeous. No hoods, no zips, no graffiti, however he says graffiti. Good of fashion. I like his orange pocket square a lot. Ted has a suit. We see a busker, troubadour. Nate's early, on time. Suit does not fit. It's me dad's. Pit stop, red carpet. Jamie and Keely. Rebecca. Keely helps. One in front, one hand on the hip, claw shape. 1 foot in front of the other. One hand on hip in a claw shape, flattering. Nate, don't strut. Let the suit do the work. So this is where Ted is really a good friend. I mean, I really like these small bits like that, just stuff I could relate to, because I would probably be the one overcompensating like Nate, and Ted has this, on some levels, some confidence or just self-comfort, and he's able to help his friends with that and be like, hey, just let the suit do the work, bud. Ted Lasso, my God, nice to meet you. So Rebecca does not recognize Nate. Beard and Jane, Friday night chess club. Not a joke. They like each other's moves. Not a joke. Guess it was. Table awkward with Roy and Jamie. Who are the other people, I wondered? Table 9. Like Shaq and Kobe. Who needs a drink? Higgins. I wonder what it would be like with the Shaq, like with that era, Lakers era, and social media, and just the internet. I'm not saying it negatively or anything, but like with proliferation of news sources and places to read opinions and I don't know what you call it, websites, podcasts, takes on Shaq and Kobe. It would have been a lot different. It would have been, I don't know. Because here's the thing, I kind of missed the Shaq and Kobe era. I was kind of out there. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to anything. So I'm kind of like a bummer. I miss the Shaq and Kobe era. Plus, Northern California, Southern California have a rivalry. Who needs a drink? Higgins lists who cannot make it. So we're, getting down to who can't make it for sure. Rebecca working on speech, and Ted says, make fun of yourself right off the bat. Trust me. Again, being helpful and of service. Chess talk, queen to rook 4. Rebecca opens with a joke about hugs. Auction later. Rupert shows up. He does a hanky-panky joke. Is that what that says? Or Harby joke? Rupert's in a white suit last year, 100,000 pounds. Boring table. She puts him at the boring table. I said, how much is 800,000 pounds? Put him at the boring table. Kidding. Put him at table 4. Nate is flirty a little bit, still dizzy. One of the guys from his encounter with Roy. Jamie gets soup on his chest, uses an ice cube. I guess to cool it down. I was like, why is he using an ice cube? But I guess because it was hot. Over 3,000. Jamie's not the brightest bulb there. Can't take a joke. Ted and Roy. Youth wasted on the young. Nate gets close to Roy, then gives him a hug. Ted meets Rupert. Lytle, best friend's older sister. Ted uses his best friend's older sister crush metaphor. Rupert and Rebecca, awkward moment. Besides, it's for the children. Love that dress. Ted Robertson within canceled. I'll ask. Ted asks for a triple. Rupert takes the stage. Keely gives him a slow clap. Jamie Tart up first. Shetland ponies? Oh, someone, I don't know. And then this one, I actually put it together. Like, there's another woman bidding on Jamie. And I said, isn't that who becomes, well, so spoiler, she does play a part later, I guess, in the series. £25,000. Ted checks on Rebecca. There's rickshaw bikes. Ted tells a tandem bike story. Rebecca gets real about listening to Rupert. Sorry, I had to change pages there. But that was a good place. Rebecca gets real about what? About listening to Rupert. Now I am alone. Ted hugs her real gentle. Horn from rickshaw. Ted again shows how okay he can be with silence. Jamie's drinking some sort of blue drink. Roy rolls up. Yankee Doodle, they call Ted. To you. Ted and Rupert, who is drunk. Ted calls him out. Ted needs a co-pilot. The best. Keely and Rebecca in the restroom. Jamie had another +1. Ends up that +1 is a person I was referring to that's connected later on. Sip of your drink. You ever dated a footballer? Rebecca, we'll do get to this dialogue though. Pushes drink to Keely. Keely says hello to Bex. Roy, kind, Keely, bides, Roy, Sarvant Stork. This is interesting. So Keely says hello to Bex. Roy, kind, Keely, bides, Roy, Starvant Stork, Servant Stack, I don't know, Rupert, 1 mitten pads for the children, 1 million pounds for the children. Right. Rupert moves on Bex. Don't judge a book by the cover. All the way from outside. Oh, so they get Cam. So at some point Ted and Higgins go out. That's what I was referring to get a performer. That performer is Cam, who they get on the outside, and Cam is something. People start dancing. The beard does not want to dance. Higgins has moves. Oh, is this Marcus Mumford? Nate at table. Beard. It does some head banging. Rupert leaves with Bex. Jack can see. Oh, Jack. That's Ted. Oh, Ted. It's not Jack. Ted can see who he is too. He says, Rebecca, you're not the only one that knows what Rupert's really like. Beard is in bad shape after the party. Maybe got dumped. I don't know. And Keely and Jamie, Roy scolds Keely. She apologizes. Jamie is rude. Being accountable matters, Jamie. See you and whatever. Keely nods. 2 champagnes. Go get drunk. Ted listens to voicemail. Michelle and Henry are coming to the game before the dame, the game before the dance, the game before the something. And that's the end of the episode. Okay, Apple TV Plus here. And let's see what we got here. Apple Original. And Warner Brothers, AFC Richmond being booed by their fans. Then we see the locker room, not without good reason. 2 down at half, 2-0. Sam tries to apologize to Jamie for a bad pass, and Jamie turns it on him. Jamie's hair is perfect, by the way, which is true of a lot of these footballers that look like they're made from, like, sculpted from marble, which I could say Jamie does look like that. But Roy and Jamie get a little back and forth. At first, I thought Jamie was all talk, which I think he still is, but maybe not. And they're having a little disagreement. Easy. What's the first rule? No disagreements in locker room. Jamie sticks his tongue out for the love of Pistol Pete. We still got a second half to play. Sit down, everybody. I wonder if Ted Lasso gets hot because he always has multiple layers on. I would be sweating up a storm. Call me old one more time. Don't worry about it, Granddad. Sorry, he says, Granddad. And then they go back and forth again. Then we have the intro, the opening, table 4. Rebecca's using little Post-it flags on push pins, it looks like, for who sits where. Elaine Kenner, she had a horse thing. Is the horse okay? Higgins doing some good face acting. And team divided. You know what I'm thinking about? West Side Story, Sharks and the Jets. Can they do a dance off at the gymnasium? And they go, that didn't go well. And Nick goes, actually, it didn't happen at the dance. It happened later. At 15, I was understudy for Anita, all boys school. Another juicy layer of the Nate onion. Then say chicken or steak, not both, Coach Beard. Pick one or the other. Okay. And Ted, who's your +1? Beard. No, he has a date. What? Nate, you want to come? I'm free every night. Nate the Great. Who's that? Nate the Great's going to be my date. For obvious reasons, we'd love to be at table 8. No. Beard, you're getting chicken. Thumbs up. Rebecca checking out dresses. And he's got a great story. When I was 17, Ted, let me stop you there. I don't need a folksy anecdote. This one's a doozy, he says. What do you need? I got to pick out a dress. We would just want to sit with Roy and Jamie, mend some fences. And I said, yes, Ted, right. Rebecca finds a black and gold dress. It's beautiful. I don't know. And Ted says, yeah, fashion's about confidence. That's why I wore pajamas to my prom. But you don't want to hear that story. So you're probably stressed about the shindig. No, I'm fine. Rupert and I used to do it together. I did all the work anyway. I'm totally mellow. Oh, totally mellow. Robbie Robertson canceled. Robbie Williams canceled. I just paused it so I could look up Robbie Williams because it's Robbie Williams was also Robbie Peter Conway. He was from Take That. 1990 to 1995, commercial success. Did a solo career in 96. 7 number 1 UK singles. 12 of his albums have reached number 1. 6 of his albums are in the top 100 in the UK. And Best British Male Artist 4 times. Won a bunch of MTV European Music Awards. And 75 million records worldwide. I mean, that's even in Australia. Oh, worldwide. And then rejoined to Take That in 2010. And let's see what else we need to know. Take That. So 1990 to 1995, 16-year-old Williams joined Take That. They were looking for things like new members. And Williams performed lead vocals on their first top 3 hit, Could It Be Magic, I Found Heaven, and Everything Changes. By 94, he was having some ups and downs, and he wanted to kind of explore hip-hop and other stuff. And before the last tour, I think they broke up, and, until they got back together. He hung out with people, partied with Oasis, George Michael. And he couldn't release any material until Take That was resolved. And then, later on in the what do we call them? The Tens decided to work together, but the solo career started in 1996 with a cover of George Michael's Freedom. Then a bunch of other songs. Life Through a Lens was a debut album. Then, a bunch of hits, videos parodying James Bond. I've Been Expecting You was also a hit. And did some collaborations with Pet Shop Boys, Neil Tennant, and Neil Hannon from Divine Comedy. And 99 signed to Capitol Records. Continued success. Just trying to think anything else. This is like an in-depth Wikipedia article. Holy cow. FIFA World Cup opening ceremonies in 2018. Christmas present. So it must be a Christmas album. It says Williams has a strong interest in UFOs. That's interesting. He was part of a documentary on BBC Radio with John Ronson to a UFO convention, which I wonder which one this is. I got to listen to that. I took a screenshot of it. So that's Robbie Robertson, just in case. Okay, back to the episode. Not revved up at all. Bad news or good news, huge problem. Robbie Williams is canceled. Did I look up Robbie Williams or Robbie Robertson? No, I did look up Robbie Williams. Let me think. That's fine. Rebecca says, Higgins, you'll find somebody better, so I'm not going to worry. That's right. World-class problem solver. Then he almost drops his phone, but he catches it. Backs out the door. You got this. Rebecca's grateful. Thank you, Ted. And Jamie's getting dressed. He's shaking his head. I don't know about this look. No hoods, no zips, no graffiti. His garden, there's a squirrel outside. Could be a banker, except, I'm so smooth. Rebecca said, you got to start getting into fashion if you want endorsements. Jamie takes his shirt off, then puts his coat on. She says, what are you doing? But then he says, this is my look, babe. And so he has a sport or suit on with no shirt. It is his thing. I'm like a progeny. And, then Ted heads out of the office. Ted's looking sharp. He's on the phone playing phone tag with his ex-wife, wearing the suit you told me I should bring. You were right as always. Okay, love you, miss you. Give the little guy a squeeze. Then we see a person playing the busker. Gotta love a troubadour. Ted says, here we go. Then Nate is in a suit way too big for him. I can relate. I don't know. You threaded that needle. Nate, let me ask you something. Do you like it when your friends tell you the truth or not? And Nate says, I guess. He goes, because that suit doesn't fit. It's my dad's. Suits are expensive. Nate looks like in one of those like movies with like Big, where you're a little kid in an adult suit. Then we see players on red carpet looking smooth. They all really have expensive, really nice suits. Sam's suit is gold, the black tie, black shirt. He tries to learn all the names of the photographers. Jerry, Dave. Jamie goes out solo, raises his eyebrows. Then Keely comes out. They kiss. Then Rebecca's like, I got to get in there. Can I have the red carpet for a second? First, she's really nervous. So that's when Keely sees it and says, hey, let me help. She says, hey, okay, one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Then put your hand on your hip and make a claw shape. It's the most flattering. And then she goes behind the photographers and makes Rebecca laugh and pumps her up. And then Rebecca starts to have fun. And, yeah, she spins. I guess, those are the moments that steal my heart. It's just people being nice to people. Such a hard thing to do, really. I mean, they make it look so easy. And Ted's honest with Nate about the suit and the strutting. He says hello to Rebecca. She says, Ted, you're in a suit. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Go do your thing. Friday night chess club. They see the beard and his date. Like his moves. It wasn't a joke, but Nate laughed. Oh, it isn't. Roy does not stop for the photographers. He's in a black suit with a gray shirt and gray tie. Also looks pretty sharp. And Ted says, yeah, that's what I did. I trapped all y'all. So have a seat, knuckleheads. You split our locker room in half. I like locker rooms in one piece, like my mother's bathing suits. And they're still going back and forth. Lennon and McCartney, Shaq and Kobe, those are the two. Woody and Buzz, they got in under each other's plastic. Wait, what does Nate say? There's so many layers to these jokes. Got under each other's plastic. Nate says, wasn't Woody made out of cloth? Dynamic duos had mutual respect, so let's find the common ground. Keeley says, I think Nate looks nice in that suit, very chic. And Nate says, yeah, he kind of messes up a birthday suit joke. And he goes, that's funny when Ted said it, the birthday suit. Keeley laughs. Jamie says, okay, how about we just agree that I'll go get some drinks for everybody. Maybe it'll help, maybe it'll hurt. The other people at the table, oh boy, maybe rewind it and see who else is at the table. Looks like a younger French guy who has also been not being nice to Nate. There's I don't know who else is at the table. There's another, two people at the table and then two empty seats. I guess one next to Roy. Maybe there's three empty seats. I don't know. Might even be four empty seats. I don't know. Who knows? And we have Rebecca. Higgins says, great news. We've eliminated a lot of guests. I've talked to a number of guests, extensive list of people who can't make it. So process of elimination, we're on our way. And then that's when Ted says, hey, just, make fun of yourself at first. Little trick of the trade. People love it. And she goes, well, what should I make fun of myself? She says, what should I make fun of myself for? And Ted goes, oh, boy. And he goes, you know what? Nope, never mind. Well, I would say nope. And she goes, you're not going to walk into that one, huh, Ted? He grabs the drinks for his table. Good luck. And he goes, I thought of something. Never mind. Queen to rook 4. You playing a game without a board. Carry on. Knight to king 5. She laughs. Rebecca takes the stage, waves. So the rest of the episode is mostly contained 10th annual benefit for underprivileged children. Thanks for the kind donations. I'd hug you, but I'm not much of a hugger. Some really cool, the room they're in really looks cool, and the lighting and stuff, and it really pays off later, too. But, yeah, you can bid on the Richmond players for dates. That's great news. No hanky-panky unless the player signs a waiver. That's what Rupert says when he walks in. Rupert, oh, you're surprised? Yeah, you said you weren't coming. And he goes, well, that's what it means to be a ne'er-do-well. Or wealthy good for nothing. And he thinks he's hilarious. He takes somebody's champagne. 800,000 pounds. Let's see how much that is in U.S. dollars. Looks like it's around $1 million right now. So that's a lot of money. And hopefully even more. Rebecca says, and Ruber says, well, I'm crashing your party, but I hope you'll have me here. And, she goes, get him a seat at the boring table. Only joking. Rupert Manning, table 4. And then Nate kind of almost gets a little flirty. He says, thanks for a drink. I think a martini. Then he's like, oh boy, that martini's too strong. And then they saw Nate, and he says, please don't do anything. I got a new suit. And they say, oh, Roy said we can't do anything anyway. So they can't bother him. It's some sort of tomato bisque that Jamie spills on himself. And it has a very fake ice cube. And someone says, I'm bidding on a date for you. I just saw Sam at his table in the background. He was really laughing. Now he's eating and listening, Sam, over Roy's shoulder. And Keely and Roy are giving Jamie a hard time. And Sam just reached over and got something. I'm not sure if it was a drink or salt. Jamie storms off. Sam does not seem to have +1. We see Bex in the background now as Roy comes back. Or Rebecca. And then says, geez, Roy, what were you like when you were 23? And Roy says, prima donna. Youth is wasted on the young. You know how they say that? Well, don't let the wisdom of age be wasted on you. Then Rebecca says, Ted, can I talk to you for a second? Ted goes, I came up with that second one. And Roy's thinking, and then he comes, that's when Nate comes to give him a hug. Why are you so close to me? Well, I was going to hug you, and now I changed my mind, right? But he still hugs Roy. Okay, we're done. Rupert's cracking the table up. Mr. Manning, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet the man who's managing my club. Used to be your club. Of course, it's still my club in here, my heart, dear. Love of a sports team, eh? Kind of like your best friend's older sister, lifetime obsession. Just don't tell Tom about his love his sister. Rupert actually gets that joke. I love that. Don't love our last 2 losses, though. It's okay. Maybe we'll turn it around, huh? And he goes, I believe you. Do you believe him, Rebecca? And she has an awkward moment, or believe in Ted. She goes, I believe in Ted. He's exactly what we needed. And then she takes a big sip of champagne. Then Rupert and her go back and forth, mostly Rupert being not kind. And she goes, it's for the children. Come on, step it up. And he goes, okay, for the children. Right, if you'll excuse me, I got to go talk to those other guests. Love the dress. Very youthful. Good for you, Rupert says. Very passive-aggressive. Not even passive, I guess. Rebecca steps off. Ted goes, oh, yeah. So he says, oh, is Rebecca okay? Ted goes, yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces. Then Robbie Williams canceled. And Rupert says, oh, Robbie's a friend of mine. I could probably get him here if she asks me. He says, I'll run it up the flagpole, though. Ted says, I'll let her know. Then Ted says, I need a couple stronger. Triple, please. Rupert says, slight change in plans. I've been cajoled into doing the auction here. His tuxedo's actually off-white jacket. Jamie gets ready for his thing, and he goes, Keely, you have to win me. And she goes, I can't bid on my own boyfriend. And they start with Jamie and Cheryl Barnaby, Shetland ponies, 6,000 pounds. Keely goes to 6. The Shetland pony lady goes to 7. Bex goes to 8. Stunning. The bid and the bidder. Rupert says, Keely then goes, oh, no way, 12,000, 14,000. Jamie's happy, 16,000, 18,000, 25,000. Going once, going twice, sold to Keely. And it's one of those things I bet you Jamie won't give her the money, even though he probably, I'm sure Keely does well, but I'm sure that in the world of football, Jamie would be like making millions. Rebecca's looking at the rickshaw bike, at the Christmas lights. And Ted tells a story about renting tandem bikes with his wife on vacation. And his story gets too personal. Rebecca's stressed. You okay? And she goes, Jesus, that Rupert, I used to think his blunt honesty was noble, but it's really that he's just a jerk. He's hiding his own insecurities. He used to talk to me like that all the time. And I listened. And she goes, now I'm alone, just like he said. And she was the one who ended the relationship, which is important to note. But she says, yeah, I don't know if I want to feel this way. And Ted says, hey, it's okay. It's okay. He gives a very, very gentle hug. Really, I got a hug like this not that long ago from someone, like a gentle hug like that. And I said, huh. It was confusing to me, but looking at the way Ted did, I said, oh, that's what that was. Want to take a ride? Maybe not right now, thank you, on the bike. And he started the auction, huh? Yeah. Well, he'll get a lot of money for it, so that's great. People love him no matter what he does. Ted is thoughtful, but he can handle silence. He goes, I'm going to go back in. She goes, okay, I got to freshen up. I look like Robert Smith after he woke up from a nap. I think that's what she says. Jamie's drinking a blue drink. Looks like an energy drink mixed with something else. And Roy goes, there used to be this geezer, Doug S., and he was always on my case. We loathed each other. But we won the league, just like Yankee Doodle is peddling. We said, let's get it all out there and tell each other the truth, move past it. But I get to go first. And Roy goes, you're so selfish and arrogant. I don't like passing to you. And Jamie says, I had a poster of you on a wall when I was a kid. I loved watching you play. But you're not the player you used to be. Just because you won a few trophies doesn't mean everybody should kiss your behind or your ring. And Roy goes, yeah, I can be like that. Jamie does not reciprocate. And Roy goes, you're supposed to reciprocate. And Jamie goes, I don't want to. Even if it's just a tiny bit true, Jamie says. And Roy nods, satisfied, I guess, almost. And he goes, do you and Doug ever get along? And Roy goes, nope, still don't like him. And they have a laugh. A coach sees him and is happy. He sees Rupert joking around with some of the players. And he goes, did you ask Rebecca if she wants me to text Robbie and save the day? And he goes, I could get him right over here if you want. And Ted goes, yeah, if you could have got him here, then you could have got him not to come too. And Rupert kind of laughs it off. He goes, that would make me a real jerk, huh? And Ted goes, yeah. Ted doesn't even say anything. He just looks him down, man. And then Higgins says, do you think Rebecca knows he goes, let's go, Higgins. We're going on a adventure. The two of us. I need the best as a co-pilot. That's you. So they head out. Rebecca and Keely are in the restroom. She goes, geez, thanks, Keely. Those red carpet photos, I look good. She goes, Keely, Jamie actually has someone else. He has 2 +1s here. Someone else, the other woman bidding on him was his other +1. And Keely says, can I have a sip of your drink? Thank you. The fanciest restroom I've ever seen. Really fancy washroom. Keely says, if you dated a footballer, Rebecca laughs. She goes, I know it sounds judgy. She goes, you are judgy, though. And Keely goes, yep, I'm, talking about my history dating footballers, kind of like Leo DiCaprio. She goes, footballers are fun, simple, rich, fit. What about accountable, Rebecca says. And Keely says, what do you mean? Well, everyone makes mistakes, but she goes, Rupert never was accountable. Just a heads up. Keely has a long look. Rebecca pushes her drink over. No more words need to be said. And then Keely introduces herself to Bex. She says, can I have a minute with Jamie? Lovely to meet you. So your new girlfriend? Relax, babe. It's branding. 2 women bidding on me makes me look good. I'm smart. And next up is Roy Kent, bidding on Roy Kent. Up next, Granddad, Jamie says. And they say, highest bidder gets to go to the pool and have some daiquiris with Roy. Roy goes, no daiquiris, no sun rays, no pool. We're not leaving SW14. Let's look up what that is. So SW14, that's a postal code in England. Within London, 631 postal codes within there. Let's see. There's actually stuff even on Ted Lasso Wiki. Let's see. It's not remarked upon. That's locally focused Roy. SW14 is not even the entirety of Richmond upon Thames, just one of the parts of the region. Southwestern, London Southwest is 20 postcode districts within the London post town line, both sides of the River Thames. I think that's about it. Boundaries, Westminster, Kensington, Chelsea, parts of them, Hammersmith, Fulham, Wandsworth, Lambeth, Merton, Croydon, and the London boroughs of Richmond upon Thames and Kingston upon Thames. Okay, so back, Jamie's like, oh, you were so jealous to Keely. You think jealous is cool? I don't get jealous. Jamie says, then Keely bids £1,000 on Roy. 2,000, the pony person go. 3,000. Jamie's like, you're embarrassing yourself. 5,000, 6,000 pounds, Shetland pony. And sold to Cheryl, but Roy is, Keely flips off. Jamie storms out. Roy has a look on his face. That concludes the auction, but I'm giving $1 million, or £1 million, which is probably like about 1.2, 1.4 million. And a bunch of people give Rupert a standing ovation. Thank you, everybody. I think that gets Rebecca over her goal. Thanks, everybody. And he goes, for the children, huh? And she goes, yeah, for the children. She doesn't say anything, I guess. And then Rupert makes his move on Bex. They go, don't worry, we got Cam Cole, mega talent. Show him what you got, Cam. And don't judge a book by a cover. Cam Cole actually is a real person in London. Let's see what we got here. This is on looper.com. A lot of pop-ups, so. The guitar whiz, Cam Cole, is a busking one-man band who indeed calls London home. He's a real-life busker renowned for his rollicking one-man shows, and his name is actually Cam Cole. So it's not Marcus Mumford undercover. And grew, that was so cool. So Cam starts rocking out, and everybody is enjoying it. People get up and dance. Jamie does not want to get up and dance. And Beard can't let he checkmates Jane, and she storms off. She wanted to dance and not finish the game. But everybody's dancing. We see Beard and Higgins. Ted and Rebecca are not dancing because they share their moment about Jamie's not dancing. He's kind of preening around. He does do Nate doesn't dance either. Nate sits uncomfortably. Beard headbangs. And everyone's enjoying it. Rebecca and Ted are kind of like, okay, people are enjoying it. That's good. Everybody's pretty sweaty already. Then we see everybody leaving. Rebecca's thanking everybody. Thanks for the donation, Rupert. See you again next year. Can't wait, really. Ted comes out. You see Bex is waiting for Rupert. What a charmer, indeed. And Ted says, you might think you're the only one who can see who he really is, but you're not. And Rebecca's surprised. She smiles, impressed. The Beard comes out. You all right, buddy? Does a big sigh. Okay, I got to go deal with that. Slow down, coach. Hold on. Then we have Jamie tries to make it up with Keely. Can you stop being mad at me now? And she goes, you have to be accountable for something. And Roy goes, don't use me in a prop in your arguments with Jamie. Makes me feel used. And Keely says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And Roy says, thanks. Then Jamie says, F off. But Roy and Keely share a long look. And he goes, why are you being saying sorry? Being accountable matters. And she says, we're done. I'll see you around. Jamie can't believe it. I mean, he's got a chain on now. I don't think he had one on before. Maybe he did. Keely nods, then gets her champagne, grabs 2 bottles, rolls out, finds Rebecca, and says, they don't say it, but you see, get a nice payoff of them in the rickshaw getting drunk. Ted's on the phone. I think he gets a voicemail saying, hey, we're coming to the game. Oh, no, he's listening. And then he tells Beard, Michelle and Henry are coming out next weekend. That's great, coach. Tell me what happened with you and Jane. And he goes, I did it again. Put the game before the dame, huh? When you going to learn, coach? And the episode comes to a close. Good night. All right, so thank you. Thanks, everybody, for reviewing the podcast on Apple Podcasts recently. Let's see what we got here. Sleep Finally from Patricia. Best sleep aid I've ever found. When I start to listen, my eyes get heavy. But she goes, geez, she's kind of says, hey, this show only exists because of listener support. Then best podcast ever from Ben. Ben's make you gassy, not beans. I have a lot of sleep podcasts, and this one is now One day I tried sleeping and now I listen a lot. This is my backup sleep podcast. Then someone said it's rubbish. Then someone else gave it 5. It seems like there's like a disagreements going on, and some people say, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I can read these anymore. Really, yeah, because people go back and forth. But yeah, I guess it's like also a lot of these reviews. It doesn't understand that it takes like a large number of work to put out the show on a regular basis. So yeah, I appreciate everybody who supports the show. Sleeping really does exist. You like that because of people that support the show directly. I couldn't do it. I tried to work a full-time job and then work full-time on the podcast, and it didn't work out. It just wasn't sustainable. So those people that support the show directly are supporting my work that goes to the show. I really appreciate it. Or you support the sponsors and everybody else that helps out on the show. So thank you so much for that. And thanks for everybody who helps the show grow and spreads the word about the podcast. Appreciate that. Couldn't do it without you. And I guess that's it. Here's some Talk You In sponsors that have enabled us to add all those extra episodes to the free feed. Thanks and good night, everybody.